All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, especially to the class of 2021. This is Principal Reed, and I am so happy to be with everyone today. Glad you found the time to join us. But before we get into the program, allow me to acknowledge off the top that I know remote learning has not been easy for anyone, both our students and staff alike. You all have been on my mind and in my thoughts and prayers on a daily basis. What do I know for sure, though? I do know that we will make it together as the Chelsea CTE family that we are. Students, please know that your Chelsea CTE family misses you, and we are here to support you each and every day. So again, thank you for taking the time to join us today. So let's jump into our full program. As the slides previously indicated, this session is being recorded and will be made public for those who are unable to attend so that they can have access to all the information shared today. I ask that if you have not done so already, please mute your mics and turn your cameras off as well. We will have 2 Q&A sessions today, so if you have questions or comments when those sessions come up, please type them in the chat and they will be answered by me or another member of our faculty and staff that are on this meet. And I will be addressing the town hall questions that many of you submitted prior to today's meeting. So who's on with us? We have both assistant principals, Ms. Perez and Ms. Dixon. We have your school counselor, Mr. Siegel is with us. We have Ms. Renna, our coordinator of student activities. We also have Ms. Scott, one of your teachers. We also have members from the college and career team, Ms. Thomas, Mr. Marr, and Mr. Acosta. And we have both student advocates with us today, Ms. Ebo and Coach V. So as I said, we do have a packed agenda. We will go through each item on this list. I'll keep it there for your review. We'll start with the resilience and commitment piece, and then we will be ending with an open mic town hall session that will not be recorded. That's an opportunity for students only to partake in Q&A, comments, concerns with myself only. All staff will be asked to excuse themselves after the second Q&A. So let's get right into our resilience and commitment videos. Bear with me while I change the screen.
Are you ready to listen? Because I have something important to say. You no longer need to fear the unknown. You no longer need to fear hardships or obstacles. You no longer need to fear being seen. This fear will dissipate because you are resilient. It is through great tragedy that we are given the gift of resiliency. The ability to have a strong comeback without allowing a negative setback to define us. It is with this strength that you can inspire. It is with this strength that you can walk through life authentically. Because you see, resiliency is knowing that you and you alone are responsible for picking yourself back up. It's knowing you can. The scars of past tragedies may live inside of you, but they will not define you. It is through tough situations that we live with more wisdom and more strength. Understand that nothing can defeat you without your permission. People, events, life may knock you down, but they cannot keep you down. You do have the strength. You do have the power. You do have the potential to bounce back. Face the day with these self-evident truths because you have the power to change the world.
When I look at people, I always ask the question, I say, man, tell me what Nike stands for. They said, oh, Inc., that's easy, just do it. I said, tell me what Adidas stands for. Oh, Inc., that's easy, man, impossible is nothing. I said, now tell me what you stand for. When people look at you, do they think excuses? When people look at you, do they think victory? When people look at you, do they think that's a person that's going to give me everything they got, not on some days, but on every day, and it's not going to be predicated upon if I feel like it, because I think we all know if we only worked on the days when we felt like it, none of us would get much accomplished. I'm talking about the real level of commitment, not the commitment that falls in line if everything goes right. I'm speaking of the commitment that says, I am going to stay true to what I said I would do long after the move that I've said it in his life. See, most people, ladies and gentlemen, are stoppable. Most people, all you have to do is tell them no. All you have to do is make it inconvenience for them. All you have to do is make it difficult for them, and they'll stop. See, when you go to get your goal, don't think that all you have to do is think positive and everything's going to work out okie dokie for you. When you go to get your goal, you're sending a telegram to Murphy's Law to visit you personally. You thought you was just going to have a dream and a goal, and you was just going to wake up and just walk into the sunset. You're like, dream? It don't work like that. You have a dream, and then life pumps you. Life pumps you and say, do you really want this? You're going to lose friends. Do you really want this? Do you really want this? Cousins going to abandon you. People that you used to be like this with going to think you bougie, don't want to deal with you. It's a part of it, but I paid too much. If I was going to quit, I would have quit in the abandoned building when I wanted to commit suicide and take my life. I should have quit when I heard my voice say, your mama don't want you. Your daddy don't want you. Take your life. I got through that. So why I'm going to quit over F on the grave? Come on. And so I'm telling y'all, you have come too far to quit now. You have invested too much to quit now. You have lost too much to quit now. Don't cry about it. Don't whine about it. Get a reward for your pain. And so by being committed to everything that I started, I finished it. It built a certain type of spirit. It built a certain type of mentality. It built a certain type of individual. And so now I couldn't quit even if I wanted to. I couldn't stop even if I wanted to. I had too much sweat equity in my life and everything that I was doing. You're too close to quit now. You gotta take another lap. You gotta take another lap, because you never know. This might be the one. You can't stop because you're tired. You can't stop because you got your feelings hurt. You gotta take another lap. Keep walking, keep walking, keep walking. You're gonna make it. You're gonna do it. You got an unstoppable fire. Come on, take another lap. Don't you stop. Don't stop walking.
So as we reflect on those two videos around resilience and commitment, in the chat box, I want you to reflect. Choose one of the prompts that you see on your screen, either how are you practicing resilience while maintaining your commitment to your personal and academic growth, or the other one, has your commitment fallen off a bit? If so, how will you recommit to yourself now? And that's for students and staff alike. So let's just take a moment to reflect. We'll take another moment. All right. Thank you, everyone, for sharing your resilience and commitment. Moments, feel free to continue to insert them into the chat. Let's get right into our heavy agenda. A lot of the questions that many of our juniors submitted will be answered throughout the presentation, so don't feel like I'm not answering your question. Know that we will get to the end, and by the end, your questions will be answered. So we are implementing a remote grading policy. The third and final marking period ends on Friday, June 19th. That date is subject to change. Central is reviewing all end dates for high school, so that may change, but it is Friday, June 9th as of this recording. And what does that third and final marking period mean? It means that you've reflected course mastery aligned to state standards throughout the spring semester of 2020. So when you receive a 65 or better on your report cards, which also goes to your transcript, that means that you've passed the class, you earned that course credit towards graduation, and if you are sitting in a Regents terminating course, then you will also obtain the Regents exemptions for that course. I'll get into more of that in a bit. Once you get your numeric grade on your transcripts and report cards, families can decide whether or not they want to keep that numeric grade or change it to a CR. The CR means that you still got the course credit, but the numeric grade will not factor into your overall GPA. So again, when you receive a 65 or better in your classes, when your grades are finalized and placed on your transcripts, your family can decide, you know what, I like that grade, I'm going to keep it. Or, you know what, that grade doesn't fit me well, you know, I had some challenges, or whatever the issue is, then your family can notify Ms. Perez by emailing her at sperez6@Chelsea, and we will change that to a CR. It means you still passed the class, you still got the course credit, and if you were sitting in a course that ended in the Regents and you passed both the fall and spring semester of that course, you still get the Regents exemption. That change, we will do that as soon as we can. We're also working remotely, but it will take place no later than November 30th this year. If you receive an NX on your report cards or transcripts, what does that mean? That means that for whatever reason, the course requirements are not met yet. The yet is the most important piece there. That means that you've needed maybe some additional time to assess that course mastery, and your grade is pending through January of 2021. So what does that mean? So maybe you've had a challenge, maybe you weren't able to get to the work or whatever it is, then you're granted an NX, and you have an opportunity through either summer school and or fall support to ensure that you get that course credit on your report cards and your transcripts. So an NX simply means that you've been extended additional time to earn that credit in that course, and you have until January of 2021 to do so. I did state earlier that our marking period ends on June 26th, but the school year officially ends on Friday, June 26th. So we do have 5 days remaining after the marking period ends. So you are to continue, students, to check in with attendance on a daily basis to get your credit for being there. And then you want to engage in online student activities, some self-care activities or wellness throughout that week. This way you get the credit for being virtually available, and we capture your attendance through the end of the academic school year. So remote summer school, you all know how I feel about summer school. Summer school should never be the option. It is definitely an option to support the academic progression of all of our students, but I always tell you, try your best to pass your classes the first time over. With the remote environment, with COVID-19 and the pandemic that we're all in, we do understand that some students will need summer school. And so summer school will be available. It starts Monday, July 13th, and it ends Friday, August 14th. As of this writing, our summer school will look very, very different from summer school sessions in the past. You know that traditionally we hold our summer school in a building not at Chelsea, and we usually have most of our teachers with us for summer school. That will not be the case this year. We will all be doing summer school remotely, and we may or may not have teachers that you're used to. So the notifications for all students who qualify and can take summer school will be made in mid-June. Students can take up to 2 courses, but no more than 3 pending budget allocations. The summer school budget has not been released as yet, but as soon as we get that information, we will notify families and give you your options for the courses that you'd like to partake in for summer school. Just to review the graduation requirements, I know Mr. Siegel has done this in the past, and he'll speak a bit about this in a moment in more detail, but you have to continue to pass all your classes, those required for to meet the 44 plus credits required for graduation. So you will get your credits accumulated and the Regents exemption. So our juniors, you're sitting in a number of classes, US history being one of them, ELA being another. Some of you are taking courses that you've taken in the past that you were unsuccessful in. But if any program, any class on your program ends in a region, so chemistry, US history, ELA, for example, all of those courses end in a Regents. When you pass the fall semester of that class and this current spring semester of that class, due to the global pandemic, the New York State Education Department is granting you a Regents exemption for the Regents exam that you needed for graduation. What does that mean? That means that when you pass that ELA course, that US history course, and that chemistry course, both sections, you would have received 3 Regents exemptions for those exams. You don't have to take them again, and they do count towards the minimum 5 that you need to graduate next June. Your CTE certifications will continue as they have been. Certiport is the only certification that is available remotely right now. If you're working on that, you can continue to do so. The NOCTI exams in advertising and design and computer fundamentals, or networking rather, will be available in the spring when we get back to the building. So again, I cannot stress enough, if you are in a Regents terminating course and you pass both sections, you automatically get the Regents exemptions for that said course, and they count toward your graduation requirements, meaning you do not have to take that exam again, and you don't have to worry about it in your senior year. We'll now have Mr. Siegel just talk a little bit more in detail about the graduation requirements. Mr. Siegel?
Thank you, Mr. Reed. Hello, everybody. Earning a diploma in New York City. In New York City public schools, students can earn 3 types of diplomas: a local diploma, a Regents diploma, or an advanced Regents diploma. All of these diplomas are valid high school diplomas and can be used to demonstrate graduation or enroll in programs after high school, like college and the military. To earn a diploma, students must earn specific course credits and pass specific Regents exams. The credits you will need to graduate are the following: English Language Arts, ELA, you will need 8 minimum credits. Social Studies. In Global History, you will need 4 minimum credits. U.S. History, 2 minimum credits. Participation in Government, 1 credit. And Economics, 1 credit. In Math, you will need, including at least 2 credits of advanced math, such as Geometry or Algebra 2, a total of 6 minimum credits. In Science, including labs, you will need Life Science, 2 credits minimum, Physical Science, 2 credits minimum, and an additional life or physical science of 2 credits minimum, totaling 6. You will need 2 language other than English credits for local and Regents diplomas. You will need 2 credits in the arts minimum: visual art, music, dance, and or theater. You will need 4 credits in physical education, taken consistently throughout high school. And in health, you'll need 1 credit. You will need 7 elective credits minimum to graduate, in addition to the other credits I've just listed, for a total credit of 44. Regarding minimum exam requirements, all students must pass at least 5 Regents exams or state-approved alternatives to Regents exams in order to graduate. The Regents exams needed are the following: English Language Arts, Social Studies, Mathematics, Science, and 1 option, the +1 option, which can be any additional Regents exam or a state-approved 1 option. For the local diploma, a student who is eligible for that must achieve at least a 55 or higher in the English Language Arts. Social Studies, a 55 or higher on 1 of the Social Studies exams: U.S. History or Global History and Geography. In Mathematics, a 55 or higher on 1 of the math Regents: Algebra 1, Geometry, or Algebra 2. In Science, a 55 or higher on 1 Science Regents exam: Living Environment, Earth Science, Chemistry, or Physics. And a +1 option where the requirements may vary. A Regents diploma are the same exams: the English Language Arts, 1 Social Studies Regents, whether it's a U.S. History or Global History and Geography, 1 Mathematics Regents, whether it's an Algebra, Geometry, or Algebra 2, 1 Science Regents, whether it's Living Environment, Earth Science, Chemistry, or Physics, and any other +1 option, which is an additional Regents exam or a state-approved +1 option. The grade needed at a minimum for those to get a Regents diploma is a 65 or higher. The Advanced Regents diploma is a 65 or higher on the following: 1 Social Studies exam, U.S. History or Global History and Geography, 3 math exams of 65 or higher, the Algebra 1, Geometry, and Algebra 2 Regents, a 65 on a Living Environment Regents in Science, and 1 other Science Regents. And the student must also have the +1 option for an additional Regents or state-approved +1 option. Requirements may vary. If you have any questions or concerns about your academic status and possible diploma status upon graduating, please contact me at my email or at the phone number that will be listed later at the end of this presentation. My email, as you know, is dsegal@chelseahs.org. Thank you, Mr. Reed.
Thank you, Mr. Siegel. So now we'll open it up for Q&A, and I want to respond. So students, if you have questions, start to put those in the chat now. But I'm going to also point to the questions that were previously asked on the town hall form. one question is, hello, my main question is, are we going to automatically pass this year with a P as a grade or have some sort of virtual summer school? And that was answered, so you will get a course grade of 65 or better, or the NX. Let's see what we have here. No, Mikkel, very good question. Mikkel asked, do the exemptions affect my chances of getting a Regents diploma? Absolutely not. You could think of an exemption as getting 100 on the Regents exam. Whether you got a 65 or 100, it counts. An exemption just means that you got that credit, you have the Regents under your belt, and it will count towards your desire to get that advanced Regents diploma, Mikkel. Daniel Patrick, that's a good question. Which classes should we focus on more? You know, my answer is all of your classes. But in light of your question, I'm going to say that you should focus on all of your classes. So we'll talk after. Talk to me at the town hall. I'll give you specific instructions for that, because I can only say all of your classes are important, Daniel. Do I have to pass my major? Yes, Jay. So the elective credits that Mr. Siegel was talking about, those are your CTE. That's our major requirements because we are a CTE school. And yes, Jace, they do count towards your CTE endorsed diploma as well as the elective credit that you need for graduation. And I hear that someone else is saying that they've had many teachers telling you to focus on their classes specifically. Yes, all teachers want you to focus on each of their classes specifically, but I would need more information to know what you're talking about. So talk to me at the town hall session. Someone also asked, from the survey, based on the grade we received for the last marking period, will that be our grade for the Regents? So I've also addressed that. So let's say you get an 85 on your third and final marking period, and you've in a Regents terminating course, and you also pass the fall section of that course. It's very important to note that in order to get the Regents exemption this year, you have to pass both the fall version of your class section, the odd section of the class, so 1, 3, 5, 7. It'll be, excuse me, 5 in you guys' case, and the course section for the spring, the 6th section in your program. So for example, English would be EES 86 and EES 85. You have to have received 65 or better on both sections to get that Regents exemption. What happens to the students that fall off for being track to graduate? So yes, that's why we're here, Naileen. So if some folks fall off, we're here to support. We're still here to provide those plans so that you can get right back on track in the fall when we return to the building. But again, Siegel is available for support, and so am I at the town hall. You can speak specifically to your questions, your specific situations at that time. Excuse me. Other questions? We have to get a certificate to graduate through this past classes. Good question, Sydney. As a CTE school, you know, I've always been about all of your options. So it's important that you do pass your CTE courses. As a young adult, sometimes we don't know what our solidified plan is for after school. So having a CTE endorsement, having your CTE certification provides you with those options. So you definitely want to make sure you pass your CTE certification and your classes. Since I took one, what about the next one we have to take? So Abigail, again, if you are sitting in a Regents terminating class now that you need it for that advanced Regents, when you pass that class, you will get the exemption for the advanced Regents diploma. If you were unsuccessful in the Regents prior and you've been enrolled, or you were taking some prep sessions, or you let Ms. Perez know that you were planning on retaking the exam, you can also get that credit if you passed it in the past as well. But talk to me at the town hall section, because that's a one-on-one. So yes to your last question, Sydney. If you don't pass, it doesn't negate your chances of graduating. It's just something very good to have. And someone else asked in this regard, will there be PM school for the next academic year? All schools are waiting for budgets to be finalized, and PM school is always a priority for me. So if we can afford it, we will certainly have PM school for next academic year. but it's important that you give it your all. You try your best for these last approximately 25 on days that we have remaining to do what you have to do to try to get your course credit. All right, so we're going to continue with the presentation now, and we'll have Ms. Perez talk to us about the Advanced Placement Course Survey. Ms. Perez?
Good afternoon, class of 2021. How you doing out there? I hope you're doing well. I want you to know that I love you and miss you. Don't hesitate to reach out if you need anything. So today I'm here to talk about our AP Course Interest Survey. We are potentially offering the following courses: AP Psychology for 10th and 12th grade, AP English Lang and AP US History for 11th grade, AP Calculus AB to 11th and 12th grade, AP English Lit, AP Computer Science, and AP Environmental Science are offered to 12th grade. This is the link for the survey. Please complete the survey by June 5th if you have not already done so. If you've completed and submitted the survey, there's no need to do it again. I want to thank you guys. Go Lions.
Thank you, Ms. Perez. Now we'll have Ms. Dixon talk about our new Care Monkey, our digital forms. Ms. Dixon?
Thank you, Mr. Reed. Hi, everyone. This is Ms. Dixon. I'm sorry I'm losing my voice a little bit today, but I'm really excited to tell you all about Care Monkey. It's a brand new system that we're adopting to help us to go paperless. So we're going to save a few thousand trees and hopefully a lot of time. So when it comes to student forms, such as your blue cards, your media consent forms, all of those forms that we usually bother you about at the beginning of every year, including absence notes, permission slips, all of those forms will be submitted and managed electronically now. So your parent or your guardian can sign the forms on their cell phone or on a tablet or even on the computer. So I want you to take note of several dates. The first one is going to be the week of June 1st. So your family should receive a registration email. I'm going to send that out through Scheduler. And then your very first form will also be due during that first and second week of June. So that's going to be your emergency contact information card, or we usually call it the blue card. So that's going to be done electronically. Now, for the remainder of the summer months, July through August, you're going to have to fill out about 10 new school year orientation forms. So that's usually what we have in our paper packet. And the last form that you're going to have to fill out is going to be that outside lunch permission form. So you want to make sure that you finalize and get all of your signatures for those first 10 forms so that when we, get back in the building, hopefully in September, you can hit the ground running and you'll already have your lunch permission signed and you can proceed. So just please alert your parents, help them to remember to check their email so that they can register and you can get all of your forms done online. Thank you, Mr. Reed.
Thank you, Ms. Dixon. All right, now Ms. Thomas will discuss remote internships and opportunities. Ms. Thomas?
Good afternoon. I miss you guys. Class of 2021 in the house. Best of the best. Anyway, yes, unfortunately, some of you guys did not sign up for summer internships. But since the Summer Youth Employment Program was canceled, we are in the process of pursuing other options. But I really need you guys to reach out to me. We try to share things through our CTE teachers. Your CTE teacher is your contact person, is your connect for your internships, okay? So most of you have done some already during the last semester. Some of you guys have registered. So for next school year, when the link comes out again, I will be sure to share that with you. It's disheartening to hear people questioning whether they need to pass their CTE. That's your major. Just like when you choose to go to a college, you choose a pathway in which you want to pursue. And you guys are amazingly talented artistically. And for those of you, everything that we're doing right now needs your skill set in terms of remote learning. We need IT people, we need creative designers. So you should be enhancing the skill sets that you are learning and trying to figure out where you can really place it. So don't be deterred by your CTE programs, because there's a need for you right now. So make sure you guys, think about that and ask your teachers how you can, re-engage. There's a lot of planning going around CTE because it's a big deal in New York State. All right, so just stay in the loop and stay focused, and don't be deterred by your major. We need you, and the world needs you. The other thing is that as you guys move forward, I will share information with you via the WBL email, or sometimes I ask Mr. Marr to send information to you about college and career. So for the summer, for those of you who do not need summer school, we are trying to figure out for programs if you want to get the certification or if you learn a different skill set. Over the summer, we're trying to come up with some creative ways. So just stay tuned. And feel free to email me any questions, even if you're trying to update your resume. If not now, over the summer, just stay in communication. And if you need me, I'm here to support you guys. Some of you juniors are taking your certification exam in about an hour. So I wish you all luck on that. Okay. And again, if you have any questions, I'm here to support you. Feel free to email me, WBL@ChelseaHS or S. Thomas.
Thank you. All right, now we'll go to college readiness by Mr. Marr and Mr. Acosta. Gentlemen.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you, Mr. Reed. This is Mr. Marr.
How you guys doing? This is Mr. Acosta. Good to see you guys, some of you guys. So here's a update.
Okay. We have a few items of interest that are current, and we want you all to know about. We are communicating about these in other ways through Google Classrooms and through Scheduler, but we also going to take the opportunity to put in some publicity right now. First of all, you should all know that applications are open for College Now classes at Borough of Manhattan Community College in the fall. Classes start in August and conclude in December, and they are totally free. We have 3 classes available, and the application deadline is June 26th. All you need to do to complete the application is complete a form online, email it to me, and then I will submit it with your transcript to BMCC. Usually, all of our students get accepted into the program as long as they qualify for the class that they've chosen. So please consider this. This is a great opportunity to save some money in the long term and also earn credits that you will be able to take to college with you. You won't get high school credit, but we've found that usually our students who choose to do this get great benefit from it. If you need more information, you can call me, you can text me, you can email me. The information will be at the end of the slideshow. In addition to that, we're really excited to have set up this evening with the HBCU Hub. For those of you who may not know, an HBCU is a historically Black college or university. We have at least 3 or 4 colleges that will be presenting, and we are trying to recruit as many of you as possible to come in and get that information, not just about HBCUs, but about applying for and attending college in general. It is on June 2nd, which is this coming Tuesday at 6 p.m. You see the Google Meet code there. Again, if you need more information, you can contact us. We are also putting together some other events that will involve some of the colleges that we have established strong partnerships with, including SUNY Delhi and Parsons School of Design. We are still finalizing the dates and the arrangements, which is why we don't have the date and the time up there yet, but please look for more information about that coming soon. These will be more opportunities for you to get your questions answered about college in general and to learn specifically about these schools that are going to be presenting. And then finally, please be aware that we have created a Peer Forward Class of 2021 Instagram page, courtesy of Mr. Matthew Ahn. We are looking for students to post content up there. Please visit the page at your earliest convenience, see what we have going on there, and contribute what you have to say. We're going to move on to the next slide now. Mr. Acosta will go over these bullets here.
Hi guys. So yeah, like you guys are juniors right now. You guys are a lot closer to being seniors now than you are juniors, as a matter of fact. So there's no better time to get started on being, prepared for the fall semester. And you guys are actually applying for college, completing applications, completing financial aid. So here's a quick checklist of some things that you guys can be working on throughout this time, like now and through the summer. So recommendation letter requests. Typically we have those in our office, but unfortunately we can't get those to you because, well, the circumstances. But we do have these documents all online and if you ask for it, we can provide it for you very easily. So recommendation letter requests are for you guys to ask your teachers for recommendations, which you will need, not just for applying for college, but also if you want to apply for a job or internship. These recommendations do come in handy. So, you want to have these as early as possible because you don't want to be stuck in line waiting for 5 other of your classmates to receive theirs before yours. Resumes. So by now, hopefully most if not all of you have some level of a resume. You guys have a really, really good advantage being at a CTE school where most kids your age don't have a resume or have no idea what a resume is. You guys have the opportunity to actually be populating your resume at a very young age. And it'll really come in handy. So if you haven't, started working on a resume or maybe have some questions regarding that, no better time to start than now. So yeah, resumes, your college essays and personal statements. So these are things that you'll need. So most, if not all, 4-year colleges require some sort of college essay or personal statement. So if you plan on attending a 4-year university, it's in your best interest to complete a college essay or personal statement. At least have a draft ready. You don't want to come into the September next year and not have any type of college essay or personal statement draft or anything there, because then you're starting from scratch, and that's just time that you could have saved yourself if you had just started working on it a little earlier. So tentative college list. By now, hopefully you guys have begun to identify some colleges that you may be interested in, maybe not. We've given many of you materials from our college office with colleges from around New York State and even private colleges and SUNYs and CUNYs. So, now is a great time to start doing research. Maybe find some colleges that have programs that you're interested in studying. Deciding whether you want to go away for college and live in a dorm, or you want to stay in the city and, be attending college but living at home. You want a big campus, a small campus. These are all things that you really have to ask yourself. Is the college the right fit for me? So, now's the time. Like, if you guys I really want you guys to take advantage of us as a resource. Come speak to us. Let us know what you want in your college, what you guys are trying to study, and we can guide you in the right direction and help you guys come up with a tentative college list. It's tentative because these things are bound to change, but if you have some sort of list now, you can at least begin to reference it to other colleges and universities later down the line. So we want you guys to also create your application portals. So you guys have taken the SAT in March, so you guys do have you should be creating your College Board portals. That way you can access not only your SAT scores, but also your AP scores as well. You also want to have your portals for your CUNY application, your SUNY application, and your Common application. we saw the 3 main applications that we deal with in order for you guys to apply to college. You guys want to have your FSA ID created. All of this, is just literally to make your life easier in September when you guys start this process. Like I said, we're here to help you. If you have no idea whatsoever what I'm talking about, you can always feel free to contact me and ask me. But it will help to have your portals then. Yeah. And then finally, your SAT and ACT registration and preparation. So you guys all took the SAT in March. We highly encourage you that you guys take it at least one more time, if not 2 more times. Most, if not all of you, will get fee waivers for the 2nd and 3rd SAT, meaning you guys get 2 free tests. Most of you, not all of you, but so it would really be to your benefit to begin registering for another ACT or SAT exam. But of course, in order to do that, you guys do in fact have to set up your application portal with College Board. So yeah, just again, if you guys have any questions or concerns, contact us. Let us know. But give yourself a leg up so that way you're not scrambling when it comes in September and you're just ready to go with your college applications. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Acosta. Mr. Mark?
Okay, so I know in the interest of time we need to move this on, but I just wanted to make sure that you're all aware that we have regular college hours, college office hours. They are there posted. You can also set up an appointment with us anytime by emailing any of us at one of those email addresses. We welcome parents to come in. We welcome you to come in, whether it's announced or pre-planned. We really want to speak with you. I also just want to mention very quickly that everything that Mr. Acosta went over in the previous slide are items that Mr. Fowler and I are working with you on in the college readiness classes. So these are expectations, and we do expect you to have some progress made on every one of these items by the end of the school year. I will be communicating with you more, but in the meantime, if you have any questions, there is the contact information. Thank you, Mr. Reed.
Thank you, Mr. Marr. Now we'll hear from our student advocates, Ms. Ebo and Coach V.
Okay. Hi, guys. It's great to see so many of you in this meeting. I just wanted to let you know that we are still here to support and advocate for you. Contact information is there, as well as Coach V, and Coach V is also our Instagram star. I also wanted to talk to you about very quickly about a new organization that has started in the school, virtually, and it's called the Chelsea Student Voice Alliance, which was created by a number of teachers, and we have some great students who are also involved. We know there's a lot of negativity going on out there these days, a lot of bias, a lot of racism, and we're there to talk about it and look for ways to move forward. And how can you, moving forward, be able to deal with some of the situations that we see on a day-to-day basis? So I just want to encourage you all to join. It's not a class. It is a place where we talk. And when we go back into the building, we're going to continue. Okay, we have some great juniors who are involved, and I'm just putting it out there, inviting you all to come. Okay?
Yeah, shout out to Matthew.
All right. Coach, Instagram Live.
Yes, 3:30. Make sure you guys lock in.
Okay. All right. Incoming freshman orientation. As you know, our freshmen are unable to come to our school for our open house. So we are trying to create a virtual open house, okay? We'd love you to create videos about your CTE major, videos about your experience at Chelsea. We also have some questions that you could also use as a guide. If you're interested in doing it, and I have reached out to some of you as well before, please email me again, aebo@chelseahs.org. Send me any videos, questions, ideas that we can put in our virtual open house. I truly, truly appreciate it. And if I've reached out to you already, I'm waiting. Okay? Thank you, Mr. Reed.
Thank you, Ms. Ebo. Thank you, Coach B.
No problem.
All right, now we'll talk about student activities, and we'll have Miss Renna. So, Miss Renna.
Hi, everyone. I wish I could see you in person. This is so impersonal both to me, but hi, hope you're all doing well. Miss you, love you. Hope all is, kind of normal, as well normal as can be. But in any case, so we do have activities going for you guys. We have the activities classroom page, which I know some students have told me feels a little hectic, like assignments. Remember, they're not mandatory assignments. They're really just there for me to check in with you, talk every day, just like give little really, really bad jokes, make you laugh maybe for the day. And that being said, we post all of the activities like our Wellness Wednesdays with Brain Power Wellness. I love this group, guys. You should join. It's not a heavy duty workout. In fact, they blend a lot of like mind exercises with physical activity, with some like meditation. And I was never one for that stuff. You know me, I'm always moving. I love it. I do the staff one at 8:15. I do the student one at 3:30. And it really makes my Wednesdays much better. So please join us. The code is there. I also post it in our Google Activities classroom every single day. Every Wednesday as a reminder. Mr. Jones is also doing, for those of you who have younger siblings, and I know that how tough it is at home for them to stay in and just not move as much when you have work to do. He has these Wellness Wednesday V1 stories at 7 p.m. He's really, really engaging. You've seen him on the Instagram Live, so please feel free. His meeting code is WE Wellness, WEE. And so sorry, I see you. I will post another link, or I'll put it in the activities classroom. The other thing is, again, we're going to keep saying it, is these Instagram lives. Please, please, please join them. It's really lonely and kind of disheartening when I only see 12 kids, and it like hurts, so let's get you guys on there. Tell your friends to join. It's just a really good way to connect, to see some makeup tips by Ms. Grimes, to see Mr. Ovaez cook some really cool food tomorrow. So please come join us every Thursday and Friday. And for our hopeful return this September, because that's what I'm hoping and praying for every day, we will have a back to school party. And you all know I am one who is not for parties, but you can ask Mr. Reed. I actually said that we should definitely do a party. You guys deserve it. You've earned it. This has been some of the toughest stuff we've had to deal with, and you are doing it with such grace and such pride. So we want to make sure that you have a really fun back to school party. That date will be determined as soon as we know when we are back in school officially. And then next year, again, hopefully everything will be back to kind of normal. Your senior year, we've got senior dues. That includes your cap, gown, a hoodie, graduation itself, yearbook, tassel, keychain, a little t-shirt. So that's about $175. We'll talk about that payment plan when next year comes. There's a senior trip that usually happens in December. It's about $300 per person. We have gone on trips that were a little bit more than $300, and we've gone on trips this year that were a little less than $300. It all depends. And prom is also about $130. That might change depending. We do prom with iSchool because neither school is large enough to host our own prom. It would be extraordinarily expensive to do so. So we combine with them. It is such a night of fun. We get to see you guys become comrades and hang out and dance the night away at Chelsea Piers Sunset Terrace. If you have any questions, as always, you can always email me. I'm on Instagram now, l.renna_ChelseaHS. Just reach out in any way you can. I'm here for you all the time. And I love you guys.
Thank you, Ms. Renna. All right, everyone. So as we draw to the close, Finish Strong. We've introduced Finish Strong when I started dancing on Instagram Live. So what does Finish Strong mean to you? Let me remind you that we all want you all to finish strong because we know of your potential and we believe in all of you because your future is bright. Now is the time to become the greatest versions of yourself. You all are our lions, our leaders, innovators, orators, newsmakers, and scholars. During these unprecedented times, you have demonstrated these ideals in so many ways, and we continue to be proud of you all. Your history is unique. There has never been a time like this in any of our lifetimes. Your generation, Generation Z, is shaping our future. You have taught us how to be more empathetic, be more patient, and innovate in our use of technology. With less than 25 online days remaining, your future starts now. You all have the power to change the world. So continue checking into daily attendance every day, complete your assignments, and attend live sessions with your teachers, your guidance counselor, and the college and career team. Check your email daily and follow us on social media for the latest announcements and news. Know that your Chelsea CTE family of faculty, staff, and community partners want you to know that we are right by your side as we virtually walk together to the finish line to finish strong. Thank you, class of 2021.
Go Lions!
We'll now have our second Q&A session. Let me take a look at the chat. So, Tania, yes. Ms. Dixon, can you talk a little bit more about the 10 new school year orientation forms?
Yes, hi. So the orientation forms are the same forms that you always fill out at the beginning of the school year. So that would be so your media consent form, the dress code form, the electronic devices form. There'll be a form that you can submit to show proof that you've completed the lunch application. So all of the forms that we usually give you in a packet at the beginning of the school year, paper packet. And then some of you bring it back and some of you don't, and we have to find you, and it's chaos sometimes. It's gonna be a lot simpler this time because all of that will be communicated with your parent or your guardian. They can sign off on their cell phone, or they can sign off even on a computer, and then all of that information will be in our system. So it'll make it a lot faster and a lot easier, but it's really gonna be all of the forms. We're really trying to go paperless. So any form that you can think of, but definitely for now and through the summer, just be on the lookout for all of those forms that you usually get at the beginning of the year. Hope that answers your question.
Thank you, Ms. Dixon. So, Mikkel, it is certainly secure, very secure. We vetted the company. They have the latest technology to ensure that all of your information is completely secure.
Yes, and also it allows parents who speak different languages to translate into all of the different languages. So hopefully it's going to be very helpful for our community.
Right. Okay, so now I'm going to stop the presentation, the recording. I want to thank all of our faculty and staff for joining us, and I ask that all faculty and staff now excuse yourselves, and I will remain here with our students.